Imagine this. You're walking down the street, perhaps with a bag of groceries in your hand, when suddenly you realize that something's wrong. Your legs don't feel as strong as before. It's not tiredness. It's a weird, unnatural weakness, as though they're subtly abandoning you. It's probably nothing, most would think. I'm more than 60. That's just the way you age, right? But the reality is, sometimes that weakness is your body's way of waving a red flag, warning you of something serious going on under the hood. And if you ignore it, someday you might glance down and find that even a simple stroll through the park is out of the question. Not due to your age, but because something inside you has quietly severed your lifeline to your legs. Over the next few minutes, we'll reveal the shocking reasons for creeping leg weakness, the kind most folks never even consider. You'll discover how to catch the first warning signals before they become a crisis, and the easy, life-altering steps you can take today to safeguard your feet and your independence for years to come. Before we get started, leave a 1 in the comments if you think your legs may be trying to warn you something, and a 0 if you can confirm that they're as right as rain. And don't forget to subscribe to Daily Health, because what you're about to hear could change your mind about your legs forever. The hidden danger. When your legs begin to feel weak, it's simple enough to attribute it to age. But this is the issue. Weakness has the potential to trigger a chain reaction that leaves your feet in danger, usually before you know it, because the damage will be well advanced. One of the most prevalent but underappreciated offenders is impaired circulation or peripheral artery disease, PAD. Imagine your arteries as freeways, transporting oxygen and nutrients to each cell in your body. With PAD, the freeways get bogged down with fatty plaque, shrinking the lanes and slowing traffic. When that occurs in the arteries that supply your legs and feet, blood flow can be reduced to a trickle. Without sufficient oxygen-rich blood, the tissues in your feet start to suffocate. Warning signs may show up surprisingly early. Feet that remain cold, even when the rest of your body is warm. Toes that become pale or bluish, cramping or squeezing pain in your calves after even a brief walk. That pain isn't just old age. It's your muscles begging for oxygen. Why this escalates fast. Suppose you develop a small blister from a mildly constricting shoe. If you have good circulation, it heals in a matter of days. But with PAD, your body's repair crew, oxygen, nutrients, immune cells, aren't able to get there quickly enough. The blister persists, becomes infected, and if the infection goes deep enough, tissue dies. That's gangrene. And in the most extreme cases, the only thing to prevent it is amputation. The second threat, nerve damage. Bad circulation isn't the only risk. Peripheral neuropathy or nerve damage is another sneaky foe, prevalent in individuals with diabetes, vitamin B12 deficiency, or years of heavy drinking. Nerves that are damaged can't transmit correct signals, so you might lose the sense of feeling pain, heat, or pressure. You can step on something and not even know it. Keep walking on it for days, and before you even know it, the wound can be so bad, sometimes irreparable. The third risk, muscle weakness. And here's something most individuals ignore. Your calf muscles do not only support you in walking. They are natural pumps, driving the blood back toward your heart. When these muscles become weaker due to immobility, illness, or injury, that pump decelerates. The blood accumulates in your lower legs, swelling occurs, and your skin tenses. It provides the ideal environment for pressure ulcers, open wounds that can easily progress to debilitating infections. Real-life wake-up call. Consider Robert, a 72-year-old retired mechanic. His daily morning walk was something he enjoyed. However, 1 month his legs began to feel slow-moving. He dismissed it, attributing it to being tired. Weeks afterward, while tending to the garden, he experienced a stinging pain in his foot. By nightfall, the pain was gone. Not because he had recovered, but because his nerves had numbed. His wife subsequently noticed a deep cut on his large toe. At the clinic, severe PAD and nerve damage were found through tests. The cut was already severely infected. Robert was in the hospital for weeks and only just managed to save his foot. He later conceded, "If I'd gone to the doctor when my legs first felt weak, I could have avoided all this." Key takeaway. Weak legs aren't just about losing strength. They can be a sign that your circulation, nerves, and muscles are all under stress. When these three systems fail together, your feet are in immediate danger. Pay attention to early red flags: cold feet, unusual pain, slower walking speed. Catching the problem early can be the difference between keeping your mobility and facing life-changing surgery. Now that you understand how leg weakness can escalate to something as grave as foot necrosis, let's shed some layers and find out what the underlying causes are. Because the sooner you grasp them, the better equipped you are to prevent the damage in its tracks. Imagine this. You're walking down the street, perhaps with a bag of shopping, when, without warning, you realize something's wrong. Your legs don't seem as powerful as they once were. It's not fatigue. It's a strange, disconcerting weakness, as if they're secretly surrendering to you. Most would brush it off. "I'm 60-something. That's just the way we age, right?" But this is the reality. That weakness is sometimes your body's way of waving, a red flag, alerting you to something serious cooking beneath the surface. And what if you don't pay attention? One day, you might find yourself looking down and discovering that even a leisurely stroll through the park is no longer an option, not due to your age, but because something deep within you has been quietly severing your lifeline to your legs. Over the next few minutes, we'll reveal the shocking reasons behind creeping leg weakness, the type most people never even consider. You'll discover how to recognize the first warning signals before they become a disaster, and the easy, life-altering actions you can take right away to safeguard your feet and your independence for years to come. Before we get into it, leave a 1 in the comments if you think your legs might be giving you a warning, and a 0 if you know they're fine. And don't forget to subscribe to Daily Health, because what you're about to hear may change how you think about your legs forever. The hidden danger. When your legs begin to weaken, it's simple to attribute it to aging. But here's the catch. Weakness can trigger a domino effect that places your feet in serious jeopardy, often without your knowledge until the damage is severe. One of the most common, yet overlooked culprits is poor circulation, or peripheral artery disease, PAD. Think of your arteries as busy highways, carrying oxygen and nutrients to every cell in your body. With PAD, those highways become clogged with fatty plaque, narrowing the lanes and slowing traffic. When this happens in the arteries that feed, your legs and feet blood flow can drop to a trickle. Without sufficient oxygenated blood, the tissues in your feet start to starve. Early warning symptoms may be deceptively subtle: feet that remain cold, even when the rest of your body feels warm, toes that appear pale or blue, cramping or squeezing, pain in your calf muscles after a brief walk. That ache isn't just old age. It's your muscles begging for oxygen. Why this escalates quickly. Now picture that you develop a small blister from a bit too tight a shoe. If you have good circulation, it heals in a couple of days. With PAD, however, your body's repair crew, oxygen, nutrients, immune cells, can't travel down there fast enough. The blister persists, becomes infected, and if the infection works its way deep enough, tissue starts to die. That's gangrene, and in extreme cases, only amputation can halt it. The second threat, nerve damage. Poor circulation is not the only threat. Peripheral neuropathy or nerve damage is a silent killer. Widespread among individuals with diabetes, vitamin B12 deficiency, or chronic heavy drinking. Wounded nerves cannot transmit correct signals, so you can lose the sensation of pain, heat, or pressure. You might step on a sharp object or get a blister without even noticing. Walk it off for days, and by the time you take notice, the injury might be acute, at times irreparable. The third risk, muscle weakness. And here's something that most people are unaware of. Your calf muscles don't just assist you in walking. They are natural pumps, forcing blood back to your heart. If these muscles get weakened by lack of exercise, illness, or injury, that pump decelerates. Blood accumulates in your lower leg, swelling occurs, and your skin becomes weakened. This sets the stage for pressure ulcers, open wounds that can readily develop into life-threatening infections. Wake-up call in real life. Consider Robert, a retired mechanic who was 72 years old. He adored his morning walks, but in 1 month, his legs became slow. He brushed it off, believing he was tired. Weeks after, while gardening, he experienced a stinging pain in his foot. By the evening, the pain had disappeared. Not because he had recovered, but because his nerves became numb. His wife subsequently noticed a deep cut on his large toe. Tests at the clinic indicated severe PAD and nerve damage. The cut was now seriously infected. Robert was in the hospital for weeks and only narrowly escaped losing his foot. He later acknowledged, "If I'd gone to the doctor when my legs first felt weak, I could have avoided all this." Key takeaway. Weak legs aren't merely a matter of lost strength. They may indicate that your circulation, nerves, and muscles are all under tension. When these three systems collapse at the same time, your feet are in serious jeopardy. Notice early warning signs: cold toes, strange pain, impaired walking pace. Spotting the issue in its earliest stages might mean the difference between maintaining your mobility and undergoing life-altering surgery. Now that you understand how leg weakness can snowball into something as severe as foot necrosis, let's get to the bottom of things and learn what the underlying causes are. Because the sooner you know them, the better equipped you are to prevent the damage from beginning. Have you ever noticed that one foot is cold, even when you're all snuggled up under a cozy blanket? That subtle temperature difference can be an indication that blood isn't circulating as evenly to both legs. In addition to temperature fluctuations, observe changes in your color. If your toes are pale, blue, or have a dark discoloration, it's a signal that oxygen isn't getting to the tissues as it should. Sometimes the skin can even look shiny or even abnormally thin. And if you ever notice an area going black, consider it an emergency. That might mean the tissue is already dead. Early red flag number 3, slow healing wounds. Yet another sign you cannot afford to overlook is a wound that refuses to heal. A small blister from breaking in new shoes or scrape from running into the furniture should heal in a matter of days. But if it persists for weeks, becomes puffy, red, or develops oozing fluid, your body's repair mechanism may be on the fritz. The risk is time. The more time a wound remains open, the greater the chances for infections to gain a foothold, spread inward, and create life-threatening complications. Early red flag number 4, loss of sensation. Numbness is another stealthy hazard. If you can't tell when water is hot versus cold, or if you don't feel when you step on something sharp, nerve damage may be the cause. Without pain as a warning, you may continue walking on a hurt foot, unconsciously worsening the damage. Real-life story, Jim's wake-up call. I met Jim, a former firefighter, at a health seminar. He'd found his right foot consistently colder than his left, but ignored it, assuming it was from an old ankle injury. A few weeks afterward, his wife noticed a small sore on his large toe. Jim didn't notice it, so he didn't pay attention to it. By the time he saw the doctor, the sore had become an infection, and circulation tests showed extreme pain. He was fortunate. He caught it just at the time to salvage his toe. But his doctor cautioned him, a few more weeks, and surgery might have been necessary. Early red flag number 5, persistent swelling. Swelling that doesn't go away overnight is also a red flag. When blood or fluid pools in your lower legs, it stretches the skin, making it fragile and prone to pressure sores and infection. Key reminder: Here's the bottom line. Your body whispers before it shouts. Weakness, temperature changes, skin color shifts, slow healing wounds, numbness, swelling. Each is a message worth listening to. Inspecting your feet every day, even if they look okay, is one of the easiest and strongest things you can do. Early detection can prevent you from suffering months of pain, costing thousands of dollars in bills, and most importantly, losing your mobility. Now that you see what to look out for, it's time to move on to the next step. Taking action today to safeguard your legs and feet for the long term. The good news? Prevention doesn't have to be complicated, but it does need to start before damage sets in. And even if you already have some circulation or nerve problems, there are actionable steps you can take right now to slow the damage and even improve your condition over time. It's not about huge, overwhelming changes. It's about building small, consistent habits that stack up into real protection. Step 1. Increase your blood flow. Exercise is your best prescription for circulation. You don't have to run marathons. A 20-30-minute walk at a moderate pace can have a dramatic impact. If walking is difficult, try light chair exercises or move your ankles in gentle circles while watching TV. Elevating your legs a few times during the day can help blood return to your heart, and even a light foot massage can keep circulation active. The key is to avoid sitting still for too long. That's when blood tends to pool in your lower legs. Step 2. Nourish your body for strength and recovery. Diet is most important in maintaining your legs' strength and your feet's health. Omega-3 rich foods such as salmon, chia seeds, and walnuts keep blood vessels healthy and flexible. Leafy green vegetables such as spinach and kale contain vitamin K and antioxidants. Citrus fruits and berries are rich in vitamin C, which accelerates wound healing. If your doctor says you're low on vitamin D or B12, don't ignore it. These nutrients are vital for strong muscles and healthy nerves. Adding a supplement could be exactly what your body needs. And here's one many people overlook: zinc. Found in foods like pumpkin seeds and beans, it's a quiet hero when it comes to tissue repair and recovery. But diet is only half the battle. You also need to confront damaging habits. If you smoke, quitting is the most potent thing you can do for your circulation. Consider this. Smoking literally constricts your blood vessels, starving your legs and feet of oxygen they need to remain healthy. Reducing alcohol consumption is also beneficial. It shields your nerves and prevents vitamin levels from falling. Even replacing one beverage with a glass of water a day can pay off in the long run. Foot care daily is your first line of defense. Make it as automatic as toothbrushing. Examine your feet morning and night. Use a mirror on the bottoms if necessary. Inspect for cuts, blisters, redness, or swelling. Wash them in warm, not hot water, dry them well, and lubricate to avert cracks. And never wear pinching or rubbing shoes. Well-fitting, comfortable shoes can avoid wounds you may not even notice until you are too late. If you see changes in color, swelling, or sores, have them examined by a doctor immediately. I'd like to tell you about Linda, a 68-year-old gardener. She spent hours on her feet caring for her plants. She developed a small blister one summer from her gardening shoes and didn't inspect her feet for a week. When she finally did, it had become infected. With treatment, she implemented a simple adjustment: daily foot examinations, roomier shoes, and short strolls. 6 months later, her circulation tests were better, and she hasn't had a single sore since. Her secret? I made it a part of my morning coffee ritual. I inspect my feet before I even get to the bottom of my cup. Here's the reality. Avoiding foot issues isn't about being flawless. It's about being vigilant and taking action ahead of time. Every stroll you take, every nutritious meal you eat, every cigarette you don't smoke, every time you care for your feet, it's all an investment in your mobility and autonomy for years to come. And here's my last message to you. Aging isn't about giving up your strength or assuming your legs will just deteriorate. Your body gives you warnings: weakness, color changes, slow-to-heal wounds, well before a crisis. These aren't simply aging signs, they're your body's way of telling you, get it together now so that I can carry you later. You have control over protecting your feet and legs. Every decision matters, and it's never too late to begin, because small steps equal massive outcomes in the long run. My wish for you is straightforward. Keep going, keep caring, and continue paying attention to the little things that make the largest impact. If this message woke you up, pass it along to a friend over 60. You may just save their mobility. And if you're ready to join the movement, comment, "Protect my feet," so we know you're with us. Stay with us and subscribe to Daily Health, because your next step to stronger, healthier legs could begin with our next video.